Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have something from Free Soldier. Let's open up the box. It's a big box. And see what we got, because these are... I barely have any space on the desk to open up the box. These are military tactical boots from Free Soldier. 8 inches, advertised as lightweight, durable. Well, let's do a review and see if we find that to be the case. Now, I have to say, I have reviewed Free Soldier stuff before, and for the cheap price that they were actually pretty usable, pretty decent. Let's see if it's the same with these right here. Now, if you have been subscribed to this channel, or if you watched any of my videos before, you know that this is not a regular review. This review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival boot section. Basically, if something bad happened, well, bad meaning, I don't know, war, natural disaster, I don't know. And now you're surviving. You're surviving, you have to walk, run for extended periods of time. On the way you had to fight, on the way you had to go through different terrains. Would this be good for your survival, or would this get you killed? Well, how to make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's begin with the criteria number 1, of course. Comfort level. And in order to test the comfort level of all the boots and shoes that are reviewed on this channel, I do a 3-mile run non-stop. Yes, sometimes with boots it's not fun to run at all. And then 5-mile walk non-stop, no pause in between. Once I'm done with the run and the walk, I continue wearing the boots for the rest of the day, so that the total wear time is 8 hours. Okay, so there are a few things obviously that either contribute or take away from the comfort level. First one would be the weight. Now, these are advertised as lightweight. Let's see exactly how lightweight they are. Got my scale right here. This is size 10, and I would say 18 ounce, maybe 17 ounce. Let's see if I'm anywhere close. 18.5. I have to say, for an 8-inch full-size boot, this is not bad at all. 18.5, it's pretty impressive. Now let's move on to the next factor that contributes or takes away from the comfort level. Is the flexibility of the outsole. Here, as you can see, it doesn't take any effort. Look, one finger, super flexible, very nice. I have to say the outsole is very nice and flexible. So running in these, you can definitely run properly without putting any stress on your ankles or on your knees. Pretty good. Let's move on to the inner sole now and see if I can take it out in order to demonstrate it for you. See, fish it out. Check this out. I have to say, inner sole is not bad either, although heel bed probably could have been a little bit better. It's a little bit too wide, I would say, so your heel is kind of tends to wobble around a little bit. If you have bigger feet, I mean more like wider feet, not bigger meaning size-wise, but wider fit you prefer, you're gonna appreciate these, because like everything about it is wide. Now the heel bed, if your heel is that wide and it fits in this, not bad at all. It's pretty distinct. Thing with the arch support, overall the padding is pretty good. Once you remove the inner sole though, there is nothing at all. It goes straight into the very hard midsole. Keep that in mind. I mean, yeah, it is flexible, but still, without the inner sole, you're definitely gonna feel it. Now, whenever it comes to the padding, let's move there. You probably noticed a kind of a strange tongue over here, as you can see. It has a gusseting. Now, I am not 100% sure why this gusseting was implemented here at all, because this is a now waterproof boot. Not only it's now waterproof, it actually has the vents here, and we'll talk about the vents later, because I do have my complaint about the vents. But all this material here, not only adds the weight, it also adds kind of a discomfort, because you have all of that bunched up there when you tighten the boot. But it just I don't know, it just doesn't seem right on a non-waterproof boot. I mean, yeah, it's good, you have a guard, the sand is not gonna get in, but it would have been the same effect if there was no gusseting at all, just by tightening, because you have all that covering up. Also, whenever it comes to the shaft, I do have a major problem with the shaft whenever it comes to the fitment. I mean, I don't know how big of the the shins and calves, just leg in general, how wide it is of the person who designed it. But this is the only boot that I had that is like an inch of space, even on the tightest, meaning like this setting. This is still too big for me, even though the fitment is my size. So keep that in mind. That creates a little bit of the wobble, and obviously creates well, pretty significant discomfort, especially if you are doing fast walking or running. This keeps rubbing, and this material right here, man, trust me, you don't want this to touch your skin at all. So make sure you're wearing extra long socks with this, because trust me, you don't want this to touch your skin. This feels absolutely horrible on the skin. But let's move on to the criteria number 2 now. Proofing and protection. Okay, like I said, this is not waterproof. Okay, I don't know why the gusseting is here, makes no sense, but whatever. It's not waterproof. It has the vents, the drainage vents. So if the water gets into the boot, you know, you're swimming with a boot, or you're crossing the river or whatever, the water should technically come out of this. Well, here's my problem with the vents, right? Yes, they're here. Yes, from the outside they look legit, but from the inside, unfortunately, you might not be able to see it. But there is no mention of the vents from the inside at all. They are completely covered by the fabric, which completely takes away the purpose of these. So these are more for the looks. Will they drain water? Yes, a little bit, but just, yeah, I don't know. Whoever was designing this, I don't know what they were thinking. It's really, really strange. Okay, probably better off not implementing the vents and making this at least water resistant. Not waterproof, but at least water resistant, because you have, you know, the gusseting of the tongue, and obviously no vents, so the water doesn't get in. But whatever. Let's talk about the protection now. The toe box is more or less reinforced. Still don't drop anything heavy on top of it. The heel is reinforced. Obviously the shaft, there's nothing in the shaft. It's super soft here, so you know, don't hit your ankles. And from the outsole is, because it is so flexible, it's not a high quality rubber, so don't step on anything sharp, because it will go straight through like butter. So not much of the protection, although the fabric quality seems to be pretty decent. It's advertised as 1000D Cordura, but I don't know how reliable that information is. Let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Now, quality wise, yes, there are over 4,000 reviews, 5-star reviews, that is on Amazon. Amazon link is in the description below. You have to keep in mind that out of these 4,000, there's a good percentage of people that probably not exactly real reviews. Okay, the rest, majority of those people who did leave this 5-star review probably don't really know what the real tactical military boots, combat boots are. So take it with a grain of salt, that information, okay? Obviously keep in mind that the price, we'll talk about the price later, but the price also contributes to a lot of those 5-star positive reviews, right? You're buying a boot for half the price of something that is a real tactical combat boot. Obviously you're happy, even though you don't really, you know, you're not getting anything. You're not getting half of a good tactical military combat boot. But something for you to keep in mind. Let's talk about the design features. The lacing system. Okay, so the lacing system here is not bad. The strings are pretty good. The thick, round strings, not bad at all. You have 4 pairs of rings, 4 pairs of close hooks. Takes a while to put them on and take them off, because no side zip, obviously. But if you're getting something like this, you already know what to expect. Keep that in mind. If you want something that is quick to put on and take off in this kind of style, make sure you're getting something with the side zip. Yes. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 4 now. Outsole. Traction and stability. Now, the outsole, the design pattern of the outsole is not bad at all. The only thing, whenever it comes to the design, I would complain is, you know, some ridges on the side would be great, you know, especially if you're doing some rope climbing or whatever. But overall, the pattern is not bad. There is decent amount of aggression. Oh, let me just rephrase that. There could have been decent amount of aggression and flatness. Why I say there could have been? Well, it would have been aggressive enough if it was a better quality rubber, all right? Because this is a cheaper quality rubber, you can tell this is like super soft. This is not good at all. Okay, so, you know, if you're running through something like sharp, rocky road, you're definitely gonna feel that stuff through. Don't step on anything sharp because it will go right through. So quality is lacking, unfortunately. But the design pattern is pretty good. It gives you decent amount of stability on sandy surfaces, on wet grass. Not bad. All right. So again, keep in mind, with a cheaper price, cheaper quality material. Let's move on to the criteria number 5 now, temperature. Now, in the hot weather, yes, because it's not very breathable, this material, you might be overheating a little bit. Obviously, these barely real, or more fake than barely real vents, I don't know, I didn't notice anything from them. Yeah, I guess that's what you get when it's covered by the fabric. But with all that being said, just don't get them for winter. For cold situations, don't get these. Not gonna work. You definitely don't want these in the winter. So keep them in mind as a 3-season boot. Let's move on to the criteria number 6, sizing. Okay, so sizing is one of the problems that I have with these. They are true to the size. They fit, the length of the boot fits just right. But everything about this boot just speaks like volume wide. All right, so your foot has to be extra wide in order to fit into the heel, in order to fit nicely into the toe box. Your leg itself, like calves and shins, I don't know the parts, I'm not very good with that stuff, but all of that is just way too wide, even on the smallest setting. Like, you tighten it as much as possible and you still have like an inch of wobble. So keep that in mind whenever it comes to the fitting. Your feet, they have to be like huge in order to fit this into this boot decent and not wobble around. Okay, so something for you to keep in mind. But lengthwise, true to the size. Yay. All right, let's move on to the criteria number 7, balance of application. So if this really was your ultimate survival boot, if it is, get rid of it and get something decent, because for that price you can definitely find something better than this. We will talk about the price later, but the outsole is just not versatile enough. It's too soft. It's just, it's not gonna do you any good. The fitment, again, unless you're big, I mean like big in your feet and your legs, you're probably not gonna fit. It's gonna wobble around. Not very good. The waterproofing is kind of not real. There is no waterproof. It's not waterproof, but the water drainage, if you know what I mean, it's not real, unfortunately. I don't know why it was done this way. Comfort level is pretty decent. They are, more on the lighter side, but still, with everything that you're compromising with this boot, even the weight that there is still kind of not worth it. But let's move on to the criteria number 8 and just finish up this review already. It's the price, $62. Okay, $62.99, so $63. That's one of the reasons why there are so many reviews on this boot. That's one of the reasons why this boot sells. Price, people, these days they look more for cheaper stuff rather than quality, unfortunately. But even in that price range, you still have some much better options from, for example, the Stellar G2 from Under Armour. I think it's like $65-70, and it's way better by every single standard that there is compared to this boot. So hopefully this review was helpful, and now you know everything about this boot, before even buying it or trying it. Let me know in the comments below if this was helpful. If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below as well, and I will be happy to address them. As always, thank you very much for watching. Always appreciate your time. God bless you all. I'll see you guys in the next video.